Greetings and welcome to Old Drunken Discography, where old friends and fans come to get BS, argue, occasionally agree, and discuss a musical artist. This week's musical artist is Seven Spires. It was chosen by Bill. Next week, Tim will be choosing, I think, International Noise Conspiracy. Maybe?
Oh, sweet.
I can't
wait for you guys to hear that.
And I'm Jason, and in a couple weeks, I'll be defending Green Day. So, if you like what you see, give us a like, give us a subscribe, stick around. We're a playlist link channel, so you can watch all these Seven Spires videos in a row. But we are here today to talk about Emerald Seas. And I can start this one off. So we get another opening instrumental. It's fine. It sounds piratey. Fits the motif. It's a good lead into the Ghost of a Dream. It doesn't come out swinging as hard as Encore from the first album, but it's fine. No words. It's pretty. I mean, it's better than Evanescence, whatever the fuck that band was. Evanescence. It's better than that. The keyboard, though, is putting it in this Disney movie territory. Every Crest started out decent. I was about to highlight it as a top song contender, but then it just never really took off. Unmapped had some cool tempo changes. Adrian sounded fantastic. The chorus is pretty sweet. Scum was fine. Drowner of Worlds, while super impressive vocals, throat singing vocals are not for me. And Drowner was filled with them. More than the past few songs. Plus it's 5 minutes long. Silvery Moon, that was welcomed. The slower, shorter, prettier song was needed. Good track placement. I like the line, I'm a fool, I'm moon drunk, and I'm tasting stars neath the light of a silver moon. Bury You was nice. I think I prefer the more mid-tempo to the slower songs from this band. Or I prefer the more mid-tempo to slower songs from the band. It fits better for me. I can hear the lyrics more clearly and not through a bunch of groveling throat singing. Fearless, I spoke too soon. When I saw the lyrics scrolling on Spotify, I said to myself, we got a 50-50 shot. Is she going to sing those words or is she going to throat belt them? Throat belting it is. The drums go ham on this one, though. It's another 5-minute song. Whatever. With Love from the Other Side, nice short little interlude feeling song that doesn't really flow well into The Trouble with Eternal Life. I say that because Trouble already had a long instrumental intro. Once the song starts proper, it's fine. And Emerald Seas Overture, wow, another Disney animated classic closing track. This time maybe it's Rapunzel walking through the forest. There's some chanting at the end, but meh. It's kind of more of the same from the first album. Almost following the same song and structure format. I do appreciate the album length on this one, though. The shorter runtime made for a more enjoyable listen. And there's some top songs here, so... yeah, that's Emerald Seas. And I know this is the prequel.
I can follow this guy up. So, we start with Igne. There's some chanting going on with that instrumental. I commented something different, but same fantasy style opening. What's the story this time? Gonna find out. I said, again, leads into track 2 amazingly. Ghost of a Dream had an interesting guitar sound. That's not a guitar. I can't think of the name of the instrument, but I'm down for it. Not sure about the instrumental bridge, if it adds a lot to the song, though, after track 1's instrumental, but it still sounds good. The words exchange had a solid guitar intro. The echoes maybe slightly detract from the rest of it, but it isn't bad. Could have been a track on a Kingdom Hearts 2 video game, which is a video game around Disney stuff.
Yeah, I could see that.
The slowdown is great, and Adrian is fantastic at carrying the song with her voice. Every Crest, I said I love the crescendos and decrescendos. One great dynamic song. Unmapped Darkness, goddamn, another great vocal song. I've tried refraining from saying it on every song thus far, but this one I felt I had to mention it. The lyrics are just the cherry on top for me, that song. Succumb, I almost feel like the lyrics are a little forced to match beat at the start, kind of what you guys were mentioning before on that first album. After it picks up and the funky undertone would almost explain this mismatch, I'm concerned, or I'm hearing. Great song sonically and lyrically, though. Felt afterwards. Drowner of Worlds. I love the vocal shift for this song. Makes sense for a demon in watery depths. Never thought I would be a fan of this singing style for an entire song, but here I am, enjoying every second of this song. Silvery Moon. This is a shift, but then again, much of this album has been a quieter, slower pace compared to the first album I felt. The violin is the penultimate piece of the song. The simple drum beats also help emphasize the melody perfectly, I thought. Dare you, if this isn't a hero's journey song, I don't know what is. Show me the movie and I will watch it if this is a soundtrack behind it. The shift from verses to choruses are awesome. Fearless, potentially my low point of the album, doesn't quite have the allure of the other songs, but again, it's still a great song I once get if given the option. I love how dynamic this album has been from song to song and something new each step of the way. With love from the other side, the hero has slash heroine has died. We must mourn them as they go to happier place after sacrificing themselves for us. All jokes aside, a solid slow pace filler song bridging the gap between tracks 10 and 12. Trouble with Eternal Life, long, slow, instrumental that abruptly picks up pace with the guitar and drums hammering away. The ideas surrounding immortal life is actually amazingly depicted in this song lyrically, and I thought it worked very well. Emerald Seas, another closing instrumental. I shall accept it and accept the criticism received with it. Yeah, it's a pretty nice looking album.
Is it gatefold?
Yes, it's gatefold. All of them, all of their albums are two LPs, which with the link makes sense. So it's gatefold,
Sure.
and then this one, it's the emerald greenish color for the
That's cool.
vinyl. Yeah. Oh, my
Oh,
background's
that's
messing
what you
with it.
get with
Hold
that
on.
background.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
yeah.
I know. Yeah. I don't know if you guys can see.
It still
It's
kind
a
of looks
A little
real.
bit.
black.
Yeah.
It's not black. It's a deep green. Actually,
I have
it's
Yeah.
a Wonder
Emerald.
Years record that's kind of like that. It looks black
was it? I
until
mean,
you really.
it's. I mean, my lighting's not great in here, but like, yeah, it's that real like emerald green. Like, it's it's. I thought it was gonna be a little bit brighter when I was looking online and bought it, but it's actually I like this color better. So, jokes on them.
It's more emerald.
Yeah. No, that's
Exactly.
cool. That's cool. Yeah, and that's one thing I will give this band. Like the products seem to be really well done. Uh, their promotions, they seem to be on track with everything. Um, I'll agree with Jason, especially for a 2020 album. If you're putting out an album longer than 45 minutes, like the last, 2/3 of it are just getting lost in the streaming age. So I definitely appreciated the shorter time length on this one as well. Uh, there were a little more growly vocals, which okay, but much like my complaints with the first album, they own and maybe even with modern baseball, they felt forced. Um, and she does it well. She's got a great clean voice too, though. So, um, yeah, not necessarily choices I would have made vocally, but I'm not a singer. Um, and then I could tell that the drums on here sound a lot better than the first album. Like they might even be real drums on here. So just as a drummer, I appreciated that. Um, but structurally, it's very similar to the first album. Opens with the instrumental, closes with the instrumental, takes you on a journey, um, but it's very pop. Every song is very over the top, uh, melodic, um, but it also just kind of jumps over the place, which, go back and watch our Mr. Bungle videos. I love some noisy, all over the place stuff. But even Mr. Bungle makes sense. This just felt like different parts for different parts. Um, Yeah, I don't know.
I
I
know what you're
don't
talking
know.
about.
Yeah,
I'll get to that
it's
on the third one.
okay.
I know what you
Um,
mean.
yeah, and yeah, I'm just again, I thought the keyboards were the most interesting musically, and I can't deny her vocals or the vision. But again, Heavy Metal Tim just has too many questions about what is heavy metal even now. Like, and okay, they're putting out albums. I'm gonna guess that they're all like, 90s babies. So they wouldn't have discovered metal until like 2010. And at that point, what was metal? It was what? Guitar Hero and Dragon Force. Um,
With the
Through the
fire and
fire
the
and
flames,
flames.
baby. We
yeah,
carry,
yeah.
yeah.
And you know, old man Tim needs to remember that that's okay. Just get into metal. Doesn't matter how you get in. We all get in through shitty stuff. Um, but heavy metal, Tim wants to go, well, no, this isn't metal. It's like this, and again, I'm not, I definitely have my metal genre preferences, but I can find good metal in every little subgenre.
Well, just remove the labels of music and base it based on just a musical
But the,
piece.
the, I was about to ask, like, if this wasn't labeled as metal, would heavy metal Tim be
Then I
sated?
still wouldn't know what it is.
Is it, wait, time out. Is that what's frustrating for you, Tim? You don't know what it is.
You broke
Yeah,
him, Bill. You
well, that's
broke
a
him.
big part of it. That's a real big part of it.
So
Not
Tim,
only,
person who makes up genres every episode of ODD can't put a label on Seven Spires.
Damn, come on. Disney metal? Mickey metal.
No,
well,
no, no.
okay,
You got the word
we can
metal.
call it
You can't
Disney
have the word
metal.
metal. You can't
We
have the
can
word
call it
metal.
Disney metal, but then that begs the question. I mean, that's like Christian death metal. Should that even exist?
No, I
I
That's
mean,
like a
mean,
should Creed
paradox
exist?
that,
No.
like, yeah,
no,
that's
yeah,
a
they.
paradox that brings on Armageddon. Like, you can't have Christian death metal,
That's a whole nother video right there. How the
right?
Christian
And,
punk
and
is
so,
just up there with it.
and so, let's start talking about Disney metal.
I mean, why not? Fuck it, Mickey Mouse metal, man. Let's go.
Mickey Mouse.
MICKY
MOUSA.
With the riff in the
I mean,
middle. Mickey Mouse.
musically, again, like they're all very good at musicians. Um, in my research, I went and tried to find like little YouTube clips and stuff. Like th- they're good musicians. They very clearly know what they're doing, and so as a not very good musician, that makes me question even more. Like, well, why aren't you doing more with it?
My issue is I don't. The story is there, the vision's there. I just don't think this is the best outlet for it. Like to me, if you wrote like a series of young adult novels telling this story, it would be more digestible and because it's
Sure,
not
yeah.
like she's got all these ranges on her voice, but it's
Hmm.
not like they're different characters. It's
Or
like
even
just
just go
telling the
full
story
like
differently.
show tune, go full, Broadway with it.
Yeah, right.
Write a
Write a
playbook.
musical.
Yeah. Yeah. Write a full musical. Um, the, uh, and yeah, you can have metal elements. There's nothing wrong with that. It's 2025. Like, I may make up genres every episode, but I'm also a big proponent of there's only two genres. Good music and music I haven't heard yet.
Yeah, that's very positive. It's a positive outlook.
You know, like I try. I try.
Well,
For what it's
let's.
worth, I just looked it up. The guitarist actually was born in 2001, so not even a 90s baby.
Oh, Jesus.
Which, okay, cool. Again, next generation, let them go. Um, that's cool.
Hmm.
But is
Ah.
this, if this is,
Well, okay, Tim. I'm gonna present a couple situations here.
sure,
Exactly. I guess you're gonna ask, like, is this the direction music's gonna go? Would you rather music go in this direction or a Nickelback direction?
neither.
No, no, no. You have to choose, right? It's the red pill or the blue pill. Which pill are you taking? Right?
I'm going to take the Nickelback pill
Oh,
because at least there's like some melodies and riffs. This has a lot of melodies,
that's what I say. I would say this has
but
way more melodies than Nickelback.
but but the Nickelback melodies are a little more memorable.
They are more catchier.
True. I mean, there's a reason they're on the radio. You're right.
Yeah.
So so as a musician who doesn't care about genre, would I rather, well, and again, another reason I'm taking Nickelback is because I could hear that there's some analog techniques being used in the recordings.
That's true too.
And I don't care what the music is. I will always forever be an analog over digital. Digital
Same.
has robbed the musical spectrum and our ears of something that we've had to, shove those speakers directly in our heads to overcompensate for.
True.
I will forever I would rather listen to somebody bang on a trash can lid.
And anybody who ever wants to argue digital over analog, I say put Nirvana's Nevermind on CD and turn up fucking loud as shit and walk 3 rooms over in your house and hear it. And then put that vinyl record and do the same thing and walk 3 rooms over and
Mm-hmm.
tell me there's not a difference.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like analog is just it's hands down better.
It's designed for your ears.
But in the
Like you
2000s
you
they
can't
did.
beat that.
They switched to digital recording. Like that's just the way it is now.
Yeah, no, and I understand. Can't fight it. You can't fight the Terminators coming. They're here.
And you can take a digital album and put it on vinyl and it's still not
And it doesn't sound, you're right.
it
Not
You
the
can
doesn't
hear the
same,
sound
no.
difference.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I have the plain pressings of the Mr. Bungle albums that they very clearly took off CDs or maybe even MP3s. Like those things sound horrible.
Eh.
Did I get them? Because, like, okay, cool. At the time they were the only available options I had. Um, and then they just recently put out like, they remastered from the original tape specifically for vinyl, and they sound glorious.
They just did that with Green Day's Dookie. They released a 2 LP 45 speed from the
Oh,
analog of
yeah.
Dookie. And I'm like, that's what would get me to rebuy Dookie.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Not
Um,
that 30th anniversary bullshit.
yeah, ultimately, like, this band is not for me for a whole host of reasons. Uh, do I respect what they're doing? Absolutely. Like they're doing it well. Um, but even then, I don't know who to recommend it to.
So you wouldn't recommend it to metalheads.
No, I wouldn't
Can't really
recommend it
recommend
to
it to the
theater
pop,
kids.
and
I
you really
wouldn't
can't
recommend it
recommend
to
it to the
pop.
pop. No, they
No,
wouldn't like it. Like
nope.
it's a very. I mean, I will
Niche.
agree with you. It's a very niche like people that they're aiming at. I don't even know if they're necessarily aiming at people. It's like on the way. It's we want to record this, so we're going to record this,
And
and this
I
is what
will
we want.
never argue against that. That just in an artistic vision in and of itself, you know. all for it. Supported 100%.
So that's because I know that was even when I did the first listen to, well, I was listening to Fortress Called Home. I'm like, okay, like I enjoyed every song. It's like, so I played it for, my girlfriend, like, hey, what do you think? And then she looked at me after track two, was like, can we stop? I'm like, okay, we'll stop.
Yeah, because it's not really radio friendly, not in
No,
2024,
no,
No,
five.
gosh,
Like,
no.
it's not radio
no.
friendly, but it's not.
It's not radio friendly. It's not underground though, really either.
Yeah, I mean, they've got a following.
And again, I go back to like, what just even makes a metal song. And I was thinking about the Dave Grohl quote from his Probot album. Go back and watch that video from 100 years ago. But inside the booklet, he talks about what he likes, and the first thing he says, and I'm paraphrasing, but he's basically like, if it's loud and ugly, I like it. That could
Yeah.
be metal, that could be punk, that could be noise, that could be a whole bunch of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Trash can getting banged.
Well.
Man, depends on the room. It depends on the room. But yeah, this
Yeah,
is this isn't ugly. This is um it's almost it's almost too pristine.
No digital age.
Well, and not even sound wise, song wise.
the
Like
Yeah, I
keyboards
these
hear
are
you.
really.
these are classic pop songs. Like you take away the distortion, you take away some of the oh god, what's the word? The exposition. You take away a lot of the exposition, and these could have been like in Porgy and Bess or West Side Story.
A musical. I think it would work really well as like a musical.
Yeah,
Could be a
but
Broadway show.
and then can I recommend this to my show tunes friends? Nah, they wouldn't. I don't think they'd
No.
like it.
No, they won't like it.
That's what I'm saying. It goes back to like I think it would work really well as a novel or a series of novels,
Hmm.
and then
Yeah,
to adapt that. But the
and yeah,
musical
you put out a
aspect,
soundtrack or whatever. Sure.
it is like they are talented musicians. It just
Hmm.
doesn't fit. Like it doesn't. There's something not fitting for me
Well, and there
in the
was one
delivery.
thing. There was one thing that kind of affected me when I was going to college for music, where like punk rock Tim really was like against the idea of being too polished. It still had to have a little grime. And there were people, they're amazing musicians, and they can play anything you put in front of them, but they can only play what you put in front of them.
Yeah, there's a difference between writing and playing.
And again, I don't know. These are just my impressions. These are my thoughts listening to these albums.
I am so glad I get to guess first. I appreciate you, Bill. I think Tim's gonna have it above this one just based on the drums alone.
Correct. Well, drums and the length.
I'm gonna. It's above that for me too. I think they did get better. Bill, I think Bill's gonna be the same.
That'll be incorrect.
I wasn't committed to
First
that.
album bias.
I wasn't committed
Yeah.
because I think
First album bias going hard.
yeah, that makes sense. Um, Gods of Debauchery is next. This has been a fun one. I think these are gonna be. This is gonna be a fun. I hope. Shout out Trey, you watching? I hope you get some enjoyment out of this one.
We're getting enjoyment now, so
Well, yeah.
We're here to occasionally agree, occasionally disagree, and pose the hard-hitting questions.
I mean, it's rare that we all agree.
so answering the difficult questions.
Yeah.
What is metal?
Yeah,
I mean, that's a pretty big question, right?
yeah.
Like,
Well,
I love
mean,
Black Flag. I would consider some Black Flag albums pretty metal.
have you seen the fucking metal iceberg though, and how many fucking subgenres
Oh,
you bastards have created?
Oh
oh
my
yeah.
God.
Oh, I've been watching that iceberg for 30 plus
Well,
years.
you motherfuckers just make up shit. This is desert doom black
Oh, I
symphonic
love me some
metal.
Desert Doom Black. That's the good stuff right there.
This is just silent metal, whatever the hell it's called.
I mean, punk's doing the same thing. You got your folk, you got your pop, you got your
Crust. Can't forget the
crust.
crust.
Yeah. Oh,
Hobo.
man. Street punk, like the swinging
Yeah.
utters.
Yeah.
I like a good hobo punk band, though. All right. Stick around. God's Debauchery is next. Give us a like, give us a subscribe. If you'd like to choose an artist for us, check out our Patreon. Shout out
It's down
Trey. Shout
below.
out Sofa King. They picked some good bands for us. Hannah picked some good a band for us. So you can pick a band for us as well. As always, what, Tim?
Be safe and make great omelets.
Thank God it wasn't pancakes this time. Dude, I made a bomb-ass omelet for lunch today.
Stockholm or Paris, London or Venice, where did we last rendezvous?
And then you go a little woo, and then a little whoop, 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 and then it's all, and then you're ready to go again.